Guys, welcome back to podcast 9 3/4, a Potter podcast. I'm your host, the Half-Blood Princess. In this video, I'm going to talk about how the Harry Potter movies cut a Lucius Malfoy story and ruined his big plan. But before we get started, if you love Harry Potter as much as I do, be sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. In the Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets movie, Harry and the Weasleys run into Lucius and Draco Malfoy at Flourish and Blotts. When re-watching it a second time, it's easy to see Lucius drop Tom Riddle's diary into Ginny's cauldron. Later, Harry speculated as much and even confronted Lucius on his actions after the memory of Tom Riddle that emerged from the diary was destroyed. Lucius admitted what he had done. The question was, what was Lucius's reasoning behind doing this? In the book, the scene at Flourish and Blotts went a little differently. It became clear through the interaction that Lucius Malfoy held a significant grudge against Arthur Weasley since he had created several laws that made it harder for wizards to own dark objects, especially those intended to fool and harm muggles. To avoid jail, Lucius Malfoy had been forced to secretly sell several of his belongings. So Lucius Malfoy concocted a plan that he hoped would get Arthur out of his way. He happened to have a diary that, though he didn't fully understand, would result in the opening of the Chamber of Secrets. He planted the diary on Ginny Weasley, hoping that her involvement in the murder of a Muggle-born child at Hogwarts would reflect poorly on Arthur Weasley, and that he would lose his job. This would leave Lucius Malfoy free to own all the dark objects he desired without Mr. Weasley threatening his high status in the wizarding world. There is another big question that the Harry Potter movies never explain. How did Lucius Malfoy end up with one of Voldemort's Horcruxes to begin with? Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows explain that Voldemort wouldn't have just left his concealed soul fragment lying around for anyone to find. So why was the diary different? Albus Dumbledore explained in Half-Blood Prince that Voldemort had a different plan in mind for the diary Horcrux than the others, and Lucius Malfoy was supposed to be part of it. Since Lord Voldemort had been forced to close the Chamber of Secrets before the events of Harry Potter, he set up a plan to one day open it again. He made his diary into a Horcrux and saved it until the time was right to plant it back at Hogwarts and allow it to finish its dark work of eliminating the Muggle-born witches and wizards. Sometime before his downfall at the Potter's cottage, Voldemort gave his diary to his trusted servant, Lucius. He didn't tell him what it was, only what it would do. He also instructed him not to open it until he was ordered to, so Lucius kept it and waited. Lucius kept Voldemort's diary safe for a decade. Still, when he began to face pressure from Arthur Weasley's department at the Ministry of Magic, he decided it was time to act. By this point, he had assumed that his Dark Lord would never return, so he wasn't afraid of the consequences of using the diary when Voldemort had instructed him not to. Understanding very little about what it actually was, Lucius used it for his game. When Voldemort returned and discovered his diary had been destroyed, he was enraged. I would have loved to see this storyline play out in the movies. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section and be sure to like and subscribe. Kayla.